So a little bit different ingredient challenge today. Normally we're in the test kitchen and we ask our guests to bring in 5 ingredients on top of the secret ingredient or the special ingredient. But today we're at the Green City Market with Sarah Stegner from Prairie Grass Cafe up in the hamlet of Northbrook.
Yes.
But the hamlet, it is a hamlet, but you were also at the Ritz-Carlton for many, many years in Chicago. But you've also been involved with Green City since the beginning. So tell us about Green City Market briefly.
Well, it's been here for 17 years, and all our farmers are certified, and it's a sustainable farmers market.
And Rick, why are we here today instead of being in the test kitchen?
Because my mouth is watering, I think, because I'm looking at all this really beautiful produce. I thought we would sort of mix it up this time, and instead of just having one secret ingredient and then asking the chefs to bring the other 5 ingredients to go along with it, we were just going to come here and go freestyle through the market and pick 5 ingredients, because I want all the people listening to this, watching this, to be able to say, oh, look, they just did something really beautiful and simple with what they found at the farmer's market.
So Sarah, we're going to begin with you. We're going to follow you around the market. Let's pick out 5 ingredients that you want to challenge Rick against, okay?
Okay. This is underground meats. Yeah. And I want to use your...
From Wisconsin?
Yeah, Wisconsin.
From Madison.
Madison,
okay.
yeah. And I want to use your sopressata because it's amazing.
Tell me where we are.
We're at Green Acres.
Okay.
Beth Eccles is the farmer, and the produce is beautiful. It's so well cared for, and I love the flavors.
So, kale, black kale.
Yeah.
All right.
Black kale. Let me do a poblano. Okay. I'm thinking braised greens with a little bit of heat from the peppers, and just to add a little spiciness, and then the sopressata and the goat cheese.
All right.
Yeah.
Great plan.
Green Acres is one of my favorites because there's something about the way they harvest everything that is just so precise and particular. I buy from a lot of these farmers, but when I'm buying for myself to make something really special, I tend to gravitate over here to Green Acres. I'm going to go to these Hungarian hot. Okay, so I just came back from the Yucatan Peninsula, and this is the chili of the Yucatan Peninsula. There they call it shkatik, but it's basically the same as a Hungarian hot wax pepper. A lot of the people that are listening to us and watching us don't know what to do with purslane. And so it's a weed from most people's garden, but I happen to like to cook with weeds a lot, so I'm going to get this, and I'm going to just basically cook it with, I've got an idea of doing, there's so many different kinds of squash that I saw at another stall, that summer squash, because we're still in the summer squash season, and I thought it'd be really fun to mix this with the summer squash. Do you have the soft tofu? Oh, I'm just going to take the extra from.
Okay.
That'll be fine for what I'm doing. And now I'm going to add to that, I think, some summer squash and some garlic. Okay, I'm going to take these 2. I'm done. I got garlic, I got my squash, the tofu, the chilies that I'm going to work with, and the purslane. So that's my 5 ingredients.
All right, well, let's go meet Sarah back in the kitchen.
Let's do it.
We're back from the rainy market here in the dry environs of the test kitchen at Frontera. And Sarah, you got your 5 ingredients, yeah? You feeling good?
Ready?
Rick got your 5?
I do. They're all laid out
A
here.
lot of good color here, too. I'm excited about this. All right, let's just start the clock. All right, Matt, our producer, is going to set the clock at 15. Go.
Okay.
Begin now.
Here
Okay.
we are.
So again, the rule is 15 minutes to create something, weeknight meal, relatively simple. This is not going to be super complicated, hopefully, and you're going to see all the details on our website, thefeedpodcast.com. We'll have the recipe there. We'll have both recipes, of course, when we're finished from both chefs. So, Rick, what's your strategy?
I got different kinds of summer squash here, and I'm going to cut them into pieces, fairly good-sized pieces, because I'm going to put them into this skillet. I cheated. I got the skillet hot already.
Hot, yeah.
Okay, so this is a cast iron skillet, and I'm just going to dry roast them. I want to kind of sear them. I'm going to turn up the temperature just a little bit in this thing, because I really want to hear them crackle in there. Turn them, dry roast them until they get a little charred on the outside, and then make a roasted garlic dressing.
I want to ask Sarah what she's doing over there. Lots of pulling kale.
Yeah, I'm just taking the leaves and stripping them off the stems. It's black kale from Green Acres. And
You do that because the stem is just too tough?
too tough.
Yeah. Okay.
And really early on in the season, when it's tender, you can add some of it in. But right about now, you want to strip it off.
Has kale always been this hot? It seems like the last year and a half, everybody's got kale on their menu. But I've heard you got to massage kale, you got to do different things to it to make it a little bit more tender. What is your approach to it?
Well, I'm going to show you that I like to blanch it in boiling salted water before I saute it.
Okay.
And that does make it more tender, yeah.
All right, so what is your plan overall? Kale plus
Kale,
soppressata.
poblanos, the cipollini onions, and then really enhance it. Since kale has a strong flavor, to enhance it with the soppressata and the goat cheese, which are both strong flavored.
Okay, Rick is dry roasting. He's got the summer squash. Now some garlic with the husks on.
Yeah, because I'm going to dry roast that too. That's a standard way of doing it in Mexico, and I really like it. And then I'm going to turn that into what's basically a simple roasted garlic mojo de ajo with olive oil and salt.
And you're just cutting these little zucchini sort of lengthwise and then crossing, and then they're about an inch pieces. They're all about an inch.
They're about inch-sized pieces, and I want them to kind of roast at the same time here. So I've kind of just spread them out into a very large cast iron skillet.
I want to ask Sarah about her technique over there with the poblanos. You're in the house of Bayless working with poblanos, so obviously you're confident.
Well, I love poblanos, and they just have a little bit of heat, so it doesn't overpower anything, but it gives you good flavor.
I like her already.
Yes, you cut out the sides, you just took out the veins in the middle, yeah?
Yep, I'm
the
just
seeds.
chopping it up, and I'm going to saute it with the
Very
onions.
rough chop here.
Yep.
Okay.
You can do this at home easily. You know, you don't have to make it perfect or beautiful because it's going to saute.
Because usually when I see Rick work with poblanos, it's usually charring first, getting the skin off. But this is
I like
she's
the
not
texture.
doing it. She's
at
not
all.
going down that road.
all right,
down that
all right.
road.
We'll see how this comes out.
That'll be interesting. All right. So now, you've got some. Are these banana peppers? No,
They're the hot
Hungarian.
banana peppers, the ones that in the Yucatan that they call the shkatik peppers. And
What do they call them?
Shkatik.
Shkatik. Okay.
So I'm roasting them over an open flame, like she might have thought of doing for that poblano over there, but
Right.
didn't. And I'm just
need
going to
that.
turn these.
You don't need to.
I
I'm
like
going
the
to turn these
texture.
until they're blistered on the outside.
Sarah, what are you doing?
Cutting up the cipollini onion.
Okay. And they're just raw. You haven't done anything to them.
Yeah, just raw.
Raw. Okay. And you're just taking out off the outside a little bit. And are you all? You're chopping about the same size as the poblanos. It looks like.
Yeah.
So you want everything about the same size to cook
Right.
evenly, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're
And-
starting to get smells going here from these roasted, the banana peppers over here, and the charring and the garlic that's working over here.
And there's
all
10
of
minutes
that.
left, by the way, guys.
Okay.
So
I
we're
think
a
I'm
third of
gonna
the way
make
through.
it. I was a little worried there for a minute.
10 to
I think
go.
this is the most time-consuming thing I've ever tried to do
It
in
is.
this particular challenge.
Because usually it's in a bowl with some plastic in the microwave, and then
you
and then
found
out,
me out.
right?
You found me out.
All right, so you're just doing lots of charring. You've got the tongs now, and you're sort of gently turning things over as they're getting some color.
And just get some color on them. Now, the reason that I like to do it in the cast iron pan is that it holds heat really well, and you'll get a really nice kind of char on the outside. I'm saying char, but it's not really that dark.
The funny name peppers are getting some really good color
They
on
are.
the outside of
They're-
them.
Yeah, and I love the smell of them when they're roasting like that.
All right, so 8 minutes to go. Sarah just took her kale out of, did you just blanch it?
Yes, I just
Okay.
blanched it.
All right, Rick is now salting his squash.
Okay, I'm
and-
putting some salt on here now because I want to start pulling some of the juices out. It'll even caramelize it more.
Okay.
I've cut up a little bit of this beautiful tofu that we bought at the market. That's my favorite tofu.
Which you
in
wanted
town.
soft, but you got firm.
I wanted soft. It's still going to make a nice, because I want to think about this maybe as a little charred summer squash taco filling, if you will. And this will work fine in it, but I like the creaminess, if you will, of that real soft silken tofu that they do.
Okay. Sarah's got a blender going on over there.
Yeah, I'm going to make a little sauce.
The poblanos and no. What else is in there?
Goat cheese.
Goat cheese and poblanos.
No, goat cheese, kale, and olive oil.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Goat cheese, kale, and olive oil. All right.
I'm too busy over
Okay,
here.
wait.
to
Show
see
me what you're
what's
doing.
going
Yeah,
on.
good technique here.
Okay, so I've cut the tops off of these chilies and used my knife blade to scrape out the seeds. And then, so I just opened them out, cut the tops off.
Oh, and you're scraping off the
And then
charred outside with the
Yeah,
knife.
I don't need to scrape off all of it. I just need a little bit of it scraped off
Okay,
here.
6 minutes to go, guys.
Okay.
6 minutes to
Oh
go.
my gosh, now I really have to.
Yeah, now you got to step it
concentrate
up
on
a
what
little
I'm
bit.
doing
6 to
now.
go.
Okay. Okay, I'm going quickly here. I don't know how many of these I'm going to get done and get in here, but I'm going to keep scraping this charred skin off.
You're
of
holding one end with the tong, and the other end you're just scraping off
That's
with your
right.
knife. Okay,
That's
all
right.
the seeds.
Okay. Now, I'm going to chop these up, and they're going to go into a bowl here that I'm going to mix everything in at the very last. Now is the time that I'm going to make my dressing for it. So I'm going to take the garlic out of the skillet here and start taking the little papery skins off of it, because I like to roast it in the skin to protect it and not so it doesn't get bitter. And
Sarah, you're slicing soppressata?
Yes, it's beautiful, firm soppressata that has great fat marbling in it, and I love the intense flavor of it.
5 minutes to go.
Stuff.
They've both picked up their pace. I can tell a little bit now. The sort of intensity has ramped up a bit. Rick is peeling the garlic out of the charred husk a little bit.
Because it'll just, once it's been roasted, the soft garlic that's on the inside will come right away from that papery skin. You can just pop it out of there.
Oh, that is such a good trick.
Now goes in some olive oil. This will be our dressing for it. Enough to cover the garlic there.
That's what we call an eyeball, folks. That was just like boom, boom, boom.
Eyeball. But it's actually done in proportion. I can see what I'm looking for here. And now I'm going to blend this until I get a sort of smooth mixture out of it.
All right. And Sarah, what are you looking at over there? You got cipollinis and poblanos?
Yeah.
How do you know when it's ready with 4 minutes to go?
I want them a little bit caramelized.
Right. Rick's got his little dressing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to go into my bowl here.
With the chopped up little peppers.
Yeah, I've got some diced up cubes of tofu that are going to go in there as well.
So now you're just stirring up. We got how much time? 3 minutes to go, guys. Wow.
Okay, good.
Stirring up the squash with the tofu, and the dressing and the little peppers. And Sarah's now really chopping up the soppressata pretty fine.
Can I steal a little of your vinegar?
Sure.
Okay. This is an extra little ingredient. I decided this needs just a little bit of acid.
Okay, I want to just see how Sarah's doing over here. Okay, so there's kale and there's poblanos and cipollinis, but you only got about 2 minutes left. You think you're going to make this work in 2 minutes?
So. 2 minutes.
All right.
Okay, I think
we didn't mention that you had shocked the kale in cold water too, ice water. That was important. Okay, all right. Is that what you blended, the one that you shocked?
Yeah, both.
Both, okay.
Oh, okay,
all right.
Cool.
He's chopping up his last...
Yeah, my last little bit of the...
Pepper into the bowl.
And there. Oh, now my last ingredient.
Oh, the purslane.
Is the purslane. Just washed it, and I'm going to pick the little tips of it off here and throw those in there for a nice little crunch. A lot of people don't realize that you can serve purslane raw, and if you pick the little tips of it off, they make a wonderful addition to a salad.
Okay.
And so this whole thing is going to come off now as being like the epitome of late summer farmer's market.
Sarah's getting pretty fancy over here. She's got the swoosh already down on the plate. Oh, here comes the ring mold. Wow, 1 minute to go. You don't see many ring molds on the ingredient challenge.
Oh, come on.
Man, is that from Home Depot or from the chef's catalog?
It's from Rick's Kitchen.
Oh, Rick's Kitchen, all right. Okay, and Rick is going ultra rustic, of course, as always here. We've got under a minute to go. Sarah's going to, look at, very elegant. You have to see the video, folks. You got to go to thefeedpodcast.com. We will put it up on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, The Feed Podcast also, but definitely check it out on thefeedpodcast.com. 10, 9, 8,
Wait.
7,
Slow down,
6,
slow down.
5,
Slow down.
4,
Time it out just right.
3, you got a little bit of goat cheese on top, a little cannelle almost of goat cheese. Voila.
If I had another
Done.
second, I
Done
would've
and
done
done. Beautiful. Well done. Well
beautiful.
done. Well done. Okay, we got some forks here. We're going to have our guests first, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Beautiful plate, Sarah.
Now,
Really.
so I missed something. Give me a little bit of a recap here. The sauce is made from the blanched and some raw?
No, it's blanched kale
okay.
with goat cheese, a shot of the vinegar, and olive oil.
And olive oil. Okay, great. Yeah. I love those kind of sauces that are thickened with vegetables in that way. Wow, this looks so good.
And you cooked the soppressata just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just to crisp it up.
Yeah.
Now, to me, I could have this for dinner and be totally satisfied with it.
It's got a lot of flavor.
It's got so much flavor. It's so satisfying. The goat cheese, the soppressata, they're accents in a dish that's otherwise is vegetables, but it's so satisfying.
Because there's richness from the goat cheese. Yeah. Also, there's salty, fatty richness from the soppressata, but then there's that beautiful green, that sort of bright green vegetal.
Yeah,
so
right?
fresh.
And because I did a rough chop on the peppers and onions and the kale, it was nice to put it in a ring. So it's kind of a juxtaposition there.
Sure.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Did we mention that you worked at the Ritz-Carlton for like 25 years, everybody? But now Prairie Grass Cafe. Okay, now Rick's. Okay,
so this is rustic, and just imagine that this is a side dish to a meal. You serve it with tortillas, and you have it as a filling for a taco with a little salsa verde on
amazing.
it. Now, that tofu could be replaced by her goat cheese. I have to
could,
say
yeah.
that would be really tasty.
That would be
too.
great. I can taste the garlic dressing.
It's delicious.
The roasted garlic
And
dressing.
the vinegar, just nice little hint there.
Yeah, thank you for the vinegar.
Good call on the vinegar.
It wouldn't have been nearly as good a day if I hadn't stolen your
great.
vinegar there.
Both fantastic dishes, both recipes on our website, thefeedpodcast.com. Again, you can see all the video on YouTube at The Feed Podcast or even Facebook, The Feed Podcast. When you're in the Chicago area, please go up to Northbrook, about 30 minutes north of Chicago. Go to see Sarah and George Bombaris up at the Prairie Grass Cafe.
Good food.
Sarah, thanks so much for coming.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
Really
you
fun
so,
to be here.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Great to have you.